Alright, let's continue on to that win streak here. I got some more gameplay footage. I'm currently at the 26th win streak, going on to the 27th game here. It will end probably tonight or tomorrow, we'll see. But yeah, I think I think I broke over 30 win streak with this deck here. So we'll be going to this one here. Let's hop into this match. So yeah, good afternoon everyone. It's just getting into the afternoon here. Just sat down, got my energy drink. Had some games last night, so I figured I'd just show some gameplay of it. Walk through the deck, walk through any strategies, like summoning the woodsman, the healer. Trying to work with your ally as well. Ally summons up here because they see I'm getting a bit swarmed, which, you know, protects my healer, and we got this. I threw the daggers down as well to try to just clear the groups. I'm really liking that she kind of got pushed back there a little bit. I don't know what that was about. So they have a succubus here. I'm just going to let our champions deal with it while we focus on here. Focus on helping up top a bit more, getting another healer out there because this one's pushing ahead a bit. It's going to start taking damage and it's gone. So just by getting that extra healer out, you know, we keep that momentum up top here and keep that pressure up top. Throw these down here to try to get to the champion or take out minions, you know, help clear. They're good for groups. So they just latched on, did their bomb. He's launching his spell here, which does initial damage and spawns the little ones as well. Our whole back line falls, and then our front line's going to fall here. Summons a big guy. Summons the cannon that when it fires, it gets pushed back. Helps prevent enemies from getting up to it, you know, so it's alright. It's alright for lane clear too. Not like best, but, you know, it does its job. So I spawned a spell thing. I was hoping to get my, not my spell, my shield warrior here. Has a shield for so many seconds. I was hoping to get it ahead of the one that was wounded, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. His range is finally able to hit it. I spawned a healer to keep this up against the succubus. At least try to. He spawns this down here. I spawn a woodsman to try to heal it up as well. Let's get some tanky. We got a whole bunch of minions coming from up top there as well. They're focusing the pressures down below. They spawn that. I don't have my daggers up, so I can't really deal with those. Just gonna wait. I'm saving this for when they get to us, then I'll throw it down. Throw it down just for extra measure. I didn't realize, you know, he was gonna spawn something up there as well. But we got waves coming in now, avoiding this, sending the waves up top, and then down below where this is gonna, you know, do quite a bit of damage. Spawned the ones with the shields to take care of that. We're still marching and we're still waiting. I'm gonna spawn this ahead of time. I know I should have enough time to get something else out, such as this right here, where when it casts, it's gonna be taking health damage, but the healer should help as well. But you know, they just overwhelm me with little minions and with the big guys up top there. I'm spawning these to try to just deal with this group. If I can stick a couple of them, then, you know, it's going to help clear the front. I was hoping more would have stuck, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But we cleared it. We got the healer coming in a bit slow, but you know, even if these two fall, going to heal this, spawning my woodsman up, of course, for that combo. They just nuke the healer. They know they have to keep the healer down, so they fireballed it. There goes the healer. Like I said, good players will always target the healers. They know that the healer will keep it up. So I spawned this, but it wasn't able to keep it all up. Not against everything here. They're all going to go down. Here comes a dragon for the lane clear by my ally. Great move. I got up top there. We're trying to defend up top. We'll push through the bottom. We're slowly pushing. They're still spawning up top. They need to be worried about down below. Up top, yeah, sure, we got lots of minions coming in. They can deal with that, but now we built up minions behind that dragon and beside that dragon there, so they're all coming in as well. So now we have everything. This is game here. This is going to be set match. I'm just throwing those in case they spawn anything. And that's game set matched. Shield up too, so we wouldn't have been taking any damage if they did have something that they fired at us. I just like to throw it on for extra measure, you know, if you have it at the end, you may as well use it. Alright, so that was game 27. Alright, let's hop into the next game. This is game 28. Continuing that win streak there. Like I said, I'm going to be breaking 30 for the win streak. This feels good when you go 23 with a scrap deck at the start coming back to the game. Getting all the way up to gold. Losing and being like, yeah, okay, now it's time to switch. Because scrap decks, they tend not to work at end tier. I've never seen them work. You know, minion rushes. It all depends on what your ally you have in it. But they tend not to work for the end game. There's so much lane clear. Yeah, they just tend not to work. I'm trying to support the woodsman there, so I spawned all of these, but you know, they didn't get ahead of the healer. They had spawned a stealth thing that's triple damage when it's invisible. Just demolish the healer in one hit. The guy's hooked up here. Look at that, he's hooked on the statue. I didn't notice that until now. I love the ragdoll features. So we have a stealth person coming in. They're bombarding us. They're trying to target our tower, right? Boom, triple hit, just did so much damage there to their tower. This one unit that he snuck in just demolished their champions. Holy, I didn't see that. Like, I saw him come in the game, I didn't realize because I'm so focused. You know, I send these in, boom, that's it. Like I said, there's a lot of clear. We kind of have to target this, but at the same time, I'm saving my daggers if they get a whole build up. Or if they get close enough to where I think I can destroy it, I tend to chuck it over. But at the same time, I'm trying to get it where we can have a good little section here coming this way, and then wait until they come up. If they get up to about here, then I'll dagger. Well, about up to here, then I'll dagger if I see my ally hasn't spawned any counters, which you know he did. So the healer's dead here. We have two good tanks coming in, one with a shield now, and then we have the air units So this one's just going to rush, it's a rammer. So I'm just going to spawn stuff to try to bring it down a bit before it can hit our tower. I threw this on just for extra measure. I don't want to take any extra damage at this point if we don't have to. We still had all those minions there and, you know, we took the game. Yeah, waiting until they're a bit up. If I don't have to use it, if my ally spawns something that can deal with it and I can finish that combo, because I was so close to having the points for the combo to come up top, then I'm going to do that and let him deal with it. If not, and he's struggling at the bottom, I'll help out, you know. You always got to work as a team during the team matches. It's team for a reason. Alright, so that's game 28. Let's go into game 29th. Alright, let's go into game 29 here. So after this is the next one will be the 30 mark, and as you can see, I broke win streak 30 so far. That's awesome. So I think I was saying it last night. I'm not sure. Currently, up to this point, I think I lose 3 out of 100 matches. And I just came back. You know, I came back like 5-6 days ago, I believe. Something around there, and I can, you know, I only played for a few, like an hour a day or whatever. You know, these are pretty quick matches, as you see. They go about 3 minutes, maybe 7 minutes a match, depending on how well the enemy team does. But you know, I can't play full time, so I gotta play. And just coming back, but this next season, I'm just gonna say this next season I'll be playing. I'll see how far I can get this next season. Sorry, a little voice crack. Gotta drink some water here. My throat's a bit dry. So I know now that they have minions, a lot of minions. Throwing this one out, great lane clear. So I'm not too worried about it. I want to try to keep these ones up if I can. Got the healer down below. They have a Lycan coming in. They're doing, my teammate is doing a really great job spawning the counters to whatever they spawn. So when they had that, like the Lycan coming in ground, that can't attack air, they spawn the air, I spawn something to kind of delay. We're working pretty good together. Our team down below is still holding up. We have the healer, nothing to heal, so it's going into attack mode now, it can heal. They're going to do quite a bit of damage here. My healer's too far up front. We have some stuff that can actually hit really quick, six hits really hard, cleared that back line, and now we're smacking. We have got the sniper down here. We've got minions just covering up top, the lane up top, and doing a little bit of damage. The main focus at this time is going to be kind of down here. Spawn the healer, couldn't keep it up. I'm hoping the woodsman can get ahead a bit. Healer's going to tank a bit here and die, unfortunately. Too far up. I didn't get the right thing out in time. I was hoping to keep these two alive. That's why I got the healer out. We have a group up coming from up top. I'm throwing this down to protect us. Some archers, and he threw his. So like I said, he does really good with counters. Of course, the ground troops can hit air because they're ranged. I spawned some archers to just shoot. Well, his little scrats were taking a little bit of damage. We've held the bridge so long now, we're starting to get to the mana frenzy part. Mana frenzy here. So it's just going to be starting on here in a few seconds, where they're still on their third. They're just passing halfway on their third. We need to retake the bridges. They're now pushing back pretty good against us. Spawning some balls here that do some lane clear. Two of these are going to hit each other because there's one here that's going to hit both, and then another one on that one that's going to hit both. Really good. He spawns his big mech here. I have my healer here supporting them. It's frozen. Because it's frozen and because there's so many mobs in the way, it's going to delay my healer, which is really good. You don't want that healer to wander up ahead. I spawn the Axeman because everything is out of the range of its healing and too far up, and my healer's delayed, so I figured spawn the Axeman, let him walk, get full health. We're to them. We have all the waves coming in from down below. We've taken both the bridges. My teammate did an amazing job there with the counters. It's always good when you get good teammates. Like I said, I've been blessed with good teammates. Like, that's just one thing that I'm just glad that I've been blessed with. Yeah. Alright, let's go into game 30. Alright, game 30 is going to be this one because we just watched the Crystal Blade Mobs one. So let's hop into this one here. So once I win this one, that's a 30 win streak. I'll continue on here and record, see how many other ones I have recorded here, and continue walking on, and we'll see what I got to last night, because I didn't actually count what I got to, so I'm not 100% sure. Spawned in some anti-air here. I was holding out, normally I do like a groggy and the healer first, but they spawned all that air, so I'm like, okay, I gotta get anti-air. Spawned it way back here so that I would have time to build that fort to try to put the healer here before my range got too far up, right? So I was delaying as much as I could at the start there. Of course, this is going to come in, hit both, do damage, major damage to both. It's an AoE attack, which is really good for lane clear. Like I said, groups like Scrats and stuff tend not to work higher up because, they got lots of lane clear. I'm going to spawn something with a shield, something a bit tanky, something that where range would take she takes less damage from range. So I spawned that there, got demolished. They dropped their champion onto her as well. They marched up a little bit. They're helping me up top. They saw I was struggling my teammate, so they spawned a couple up top there. figured, you know, our champion's gonna finish that off. They have quite a bit coming in, so I spawned those blue balls there. Love my blue balls. They'll clear the little minions. They even jump up if it's. They have to be pretty much right above them, or else it glitches out. I don't know if they fixed the range for them, but they would half the time they used to miss the range. I mean the air units. They would unless they were like right underneath it. So I don't know if they fixed it or not, but they seem to be hitting a lot more. I've noticed the air units spawned with the shield so that they could take quite a bit of damage. We got that big guy coming in here. We have the healer with the mage trying to cover, do as much damage to the tower. We don't have anything at the front line. We only have the back line there, which, you know, never is good. That they don't last long if it's like that. You need a front line, a middle line, and then the back line. Middle line being the range units and back line being the healers. If you see stuff like that, you're just going to dominate. So I just need to get a small unit out so that I can get this. This was the next thing, right? So I saw that that was the next thing here, because you can see. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get my groggy out first, be kind of the front line, have that as the middle line, have my healer a bit, and you see how well that works until the healer starts, you know, pushing up a bit, keeping everyone alive, keeping the front line alive. She takes damage in health every time she attacks. The healer now focused her, died, and she died. Here comes my allies. He had cleared down here. He actually cleared before my blue balls, I think, really got there, so they weren't too useful. So I'm going to save this for if we get into trouble. We are taking a little bit, we had taken a little bit of damage, but, you know, they're taking more. They're struggling. They're giving us enough resistance where this is, you know, becoming... I fired that way too soon. They had just spawned a whole bunch of skeletons, I think, right after I threw it. Like, you will throw it, and it takes, there's a little bit of delay. If you know, you know. Throwing that, so I just waited. So I threw that down. I realized, oh crap, I messed up. It might cost us a little bit at the tower, but we got stuff where I can spawn this, help out, spawn the healer, keep these alive, spawn the groggy woodsman, save my lane clears now, because I realized, okay, they have way too many little minion guys, so I'm spawning and gonna save my daggers, my blue balls for when they do that stuff. Throw down anything that we can take the bridges with. We wanted to keep the bridges. They're catching up. They're almost caught up experience-wise. We got a couple big guys coming in. I throw this. They're actually hitting the tower, so that takes a bit more damage. We're now struggling. They have pushed us back twice. They're at our side. They're catching up on XP, they're catching up on damage to the tower. I gotta just get anything out. I spawned this guy, held off, and I spawned this guy because for the next, like, it feels like 4 seconds. I don't know how much it actually is. I figured he takes all the damage, right, because I spawned him right in the center. They're going to target him for 4 seconds. He's pretty much untouchable. At least that's what, like I said, it feels like. We're starting to get our momentum back. They've held the bridge where they had caught up with the XP, but now we got one bridge, they got another. We're slightly ahead. Through the blue balls, he stomped on them. I'm sure that he threw this back here. Amazing move by him. By throwing this back here, he targeted my mages. Right. Amazing play. Just amazing play targeting my mages back here. But, you know, it's not enough. We had got enough minions to the towers where he couldn't kill them all in time. They did kill quite a bit of them, but just not enough. So they went down there. That was a really struggle. That was a good game. This match here is an example of that's when you know you're getting into the league that you should be into. When you're facing good players like that, like both of those players were really, really good. So you know, like those are like ones that if they were on my team as well, you know, we would do just as good. Alright, so that was game 30. Alright, so that was against Hugin Nova and Gam Gamerly, I believe. So that was game 30, so we're on game 31. And as you can see, the win streak is continuing. I hope I can break 40 win streak here. So let's hop into this match here. I didn't realize I played so many games last night. Alright. Blaze Runner and Mobsteroid. So I see they spawn those coming in, the air units. I just want to protect our tower a little bit. Spawn these with the shield so they can take the initial hit, clear as much coming in as possible, and hit and clear our lane. And because they're land, they will also take the center point here, the bridge. They spawned an air unit that, you know, is good for lane clear as well, but it doesn't get the bridge, so we got the bridge there. They have a air unit coming in, doesn't take the bridge. We're able to get units on the bridge, so it neutralizes. So we still should be, you know, getting ahead with the points. They got one coming in. I spawn up top to try to delay and keep the top bridge as well. I have one of my range, he has one of his, and he has a golem which guards our mid line here. Lightning coming in, going to, you know, wipe out those two. I spawned a healer. I was trying to get it ahead like earlier so that I could keep all of those up, but unfortunately it didn't work. Great move. They slowed my healer, which is awesome. So now my healer, we got a front line, we got the mid line, and we got the back line. Like I said, whenever you get that, you know it's going to be alright until your front line, but you need a good one. Just one up there isn't like going to be good enough, but it's doing good. We got a golem coming in. We got our units coming in here. They're going to use their spell to try to clear out that healer as well as any smaller minions, and then not just have that blue titan that their units, their champions up top and their smaller units can clear. I got another combo coming out here, my Groggy with my healer, and then my his skull. He had some air units, so I spawned this to cover with the air and clear that air. Unfortunately, it died before. I spawned this to stop us from taking any damage, letting our champion just deal with that while I spawn this so they don't take any damage. We took a sliver of health there, which is, you know, what I wanted. I initially don't want any damage, but by doing that, you know, we keep the momentum. We can still focus on here, let our champions just clear that one minion. Why, you know, give up our whole momentum for one minion when our champions can deal with it? I can spawn that, stop up top us from taking damage. And unfortunately, I couldn't get anything too far ahead of the healer there. They're going to be pushing up with a small group. We need some anti-air up as well, so I threw this to cover the air. I figured if I have enough time, and if I can, I'll get a healer out. We got a front line here. We got two spellcasters. Unfortunately, that missile got to the back and finished her off there. They're going to use their spell, try to take out the back line there. I'm going to spawn something with the shield to try to take the first missile hit or whatever. Daggers coming in for a little lane clear. They're right up here grouping up, trying to take down. I figured, okay, I can get the Groggy again, I can get the healer out. This battle's going back and forth, back between both sides. But something that's not happening is they're not doing pretty much any damage. They do like a sliver of health every time they get to us, but when we get to them, you see we've already got them below half health. My healer doing OP work keeping that up there. Whenever someone hits this, they will get hit back with a certain amount of damage back towards them. He's got his golem coming in, we got ours coming in. I should have spawned the healer. I figured I'd have enough time to spawn in something behind it, but unfortunately I didn't get enough points. It was a bit too hasty on my part to spawn that so soon. So it was a mess up on my part. That's what's costing us. I'm spawning the healer either too soon or too late for a little bit of these engagements, like 2 or 3 of these engagements. Spawn the shield here, guy, to take the initial hits. Stop him from taking the hits, and so that they focus him while he has the shield. Protects the mage, and my knight guy takes the hits, which doesn't do anything to him while he's that shield. So again, they're going to throw a spell down, do some lane clear, try to take out my healer. My healer barely survives. Keeps the healing up on that golem. Keeping it up. Keep going, healer. Keep going, healer. You got this. These healers. And it's slowed. The thing is, too, that healer got slowed, which helped it not push up. And it's still alive, healing, and that's the game. They couldn't do enough damage to the healer. And with everything coming in, that golem just kept getting healed right back up. And they had another golem. We had everything coming in. It was game. It was set, and it was matched. So that was game 31. Oh, that was awesome. All right, let's hop on to game 32. Wow, I might actually break the 40 win streak mark. Like, that's going to be insane. Like, I don't know how everyone else's matches go, but my matches have been going awesome. I've really been liking this game. I really want to support this game. I haven't put any money into this game yet. I'm close to, I think, 30 or about just over 30 for the battle pass. I got 4 days left. I don't think I'm going to be able to complete the battle pass, but I might support and get the battle pass just to support the game. I've really been loving it. For 15 Canadian bucks, it's going to seem pretty worth it. But let's start with the commentary. I got the healer out, the woodsman. The healer is keeping the woodsman up. I spawned these blue balls, trying to get over to the back line here. They didn't quite make it, so I have to use my daggers to try to clear out. My ally throws a big guy down. I'm starting to realize how my ally's deck is because I don't tend to look over right. I play for what I have, and then whatever they play, we try to, go off of each other as well. So when he spawns this big guy, I spawn my healer, trying to heal that up. They use a spell, take down my healer. It's got its shield up now. Great, it's going to stop that battle. He spawns another guy here. That's good for lane clear. They're spawning stuff behind. It stalls out as well. I had some minions sneak up, do a little bit of damage, a sliver of damage, but it keeps us having the bridge. That was the main point, have that bridge and get them up ahead. Spawning down below to try to keep the momentum going as well as do damage to their back line. They spawned the giant T-Rex here, which knocks back. It will throw them around, which is not good. You want to know where the position of the enemies are, and if you chuck, and that's something I really want to get on. Sure, this T-Rex is tanky, but it will toss things right to your tower. Look, it tossed them right to the tower. And it will toss, like, if you have a healer, so if my ally or I spawned it, and I have a healer here, and my combo, and my ally comes up and grabs an enemy and throws it straight to my healer, and my healer dies, and we lose all the healing for our front line, it ruins my whole deck. Pretty much. So you never want it. Like, it could screw up your allies, and you don't want to throw stuff closer to your champions, to your tower. So just yeah, I prefer not to have it. I prefer my ally not to have it. I've been lucky. I don't think I've had an ally that has it. If they did have it and they chucked and they killed my healer as we're trying to keep everything up, I would be ticked. Like, by the healer back here and they're chucking enemy, whatever, back. Yeah, like I said, it sucks. So I'm spawning the healer up here, I believe, is what I just did to try to keep these ones alive. This one's pretty tanky. Spawn some stuff to try to help clear. as well as keep the bridges. We've kept the bridges. We're almost halfway to Mana Frenzy now. This star is really good, at least it seems like to me, because it does so much damage on hits. It's taken out my healers, it's taken out a lot of people before, so I always think that's really good. It's more of a random hit, which is interesting. It's a bit of a gamble. I don't like to gamble, so I don't take it. I was debating on taking it later on for a deck. I want to do a gamble deck. So here's where it's good. So where he spawned it now, where I was attacking and then it threw, but this was going to go down soon anyways. But chucking it away from your champions, that's what you want to do. That was the play for this. But other times, it's not going to be worth it. Down below, healers trying to keep them up, moving forward. They're going to AoE way up here, which it moves quite far, so it's going to hit all three. We're trying to take out this dinosaur. It does do quite a bit of damage to the tower if it can get there. But now we have a build up of minions up top here with a front line. I got the healer coming in as well to heal up that front line. I'm not too worried about the couple minions down below. I know a healer is coming up, but I need to get something low out so I can try to get there. It's going to be a bit too late, I feel. But I'll try to get the healer out and the heal if I can. So we got Mana Frenzy now. So I'm throwing this out. I'd saved up enough point. Throw this out. I'm going to throw the healer out as well. We got Mana Frenzy. We have that whole wave coming in with all of these tanky big boys coming in now. We have both bridges, so we're going to be getting all of that XP turned into mana for it. So we're just going to start throwing out cards, throwing out combos, try to cover, try to keep the momentum. So I'm trying to throw healers in between every so often so that the healer waves keep coming, like waves against the beach, to keep the front line, mid line up. And that was game 32. Alright, so 32, let's hop on to game 33. Like I said, I might break that 40 win streak. I hope I do. Oh, that's awesome. So let's get into the commentary for this match. I can't remember how this match goes. So my ally is up top there, so this is going to be his deck. Oh wait, no. Oh, yeah, I see what's going on here. Let me just rotate the board around. Those aren't either of our decks. That is the enemy team's deck. Alright, so I'm up top, but this is going to be my deck down here. This is my allies here, so I had to rotate the board there. So he put out some big tanky guys here. So he outbeat me up at the top there with his big tanky guy. My ally, seen I was having trouble, spawned a big guy up top to help out. I spawned my swordsman as well to help out. For some reason it's not showing his health, probably because I switched the board so it took it off so we couldn't see what he was actually at. I threw a healer down to try to cover the golem. That actually really helped out. It pushed back the golem there, so we got the heal from the priest, because the priest was... pushed it back right in the range of the heal for the priest. So it's going back up. That was a really bad move on their part, but at the same time, you know, they don't want them to get to the champion. They'd rather try to spawn as much as they can, push them back, and then, you know, have a defense and stall, I guess, is what they were trying to think. But we got a small little group coming in, and enough to do a little bit of damage there, as you can see, but not enough to do anything where we can keep the momentum up. We just don't have the momentum. They spawned a groggy, I spawned a groggy, and I spawned the healer. This is the combo you want. They of course throw this way back here, going to try to take out the healer, right? So they were after that healer. They failed, they didn't take it. Another groggy up top with another healer up top there. So they failed at taking that. So now my Groggy's going to get healed up here. They lifted this one up here to try to buy time and let this one go by, but I got stuck on it. They spawned this one back here. Pushes back, does damage and pushes back, right? So it pushed that healer back there. I don't believe this is mine. I believe that's my allies up there. And one reason I speculate that is because of the health being how it is. And I only vaguely remember spawning one, but I wasn't paying attention to what cards I threw out there. So, you know, he is, my allies running a couple cards that are same to mine, I believe, unless he had something that duplicated. But we're keeping the momentum up. They haven't gotten to our tower yet. They're almost down to half health on theirs. We're keeping the momentum. They do push over across the bridge every now and then, but they're not doing enough. He got a spawner out. Normally, Scrats at this point in time, they don't work because they will just get nuked. One spell will take them all out, as you just seen. He has his building there. They brought in the building buster. We still got this struggle up top here. I have these. I was hoping they would try the Reacher. At least we'll take this out first and then go for those. So we did manage to take out that and keep all the archers up. We have this coming in down below. The Groggy got way too far. They spawned a healer now with one of theirs. They, like I said, they do have a Groggy in their deck as well, as you saw, but they didn't do the healer combo at first. And they have a big guy as well. And then they have that this guy here too, so they can actually heal. But the thing with us versus them and why we're doing so good, they're not working good together. They're not working together at all. They seem to be playing for themselves. When the guy is summoning that big giant hammer guy, the one that I want for my deck that I'm probably not going to use because it's just too high cost. It's an 8 cost. He summons that rather than summoning his healer to cover his allies. So I got 2 healers. We got the Groggy. We have the range as well. The 2 healers coming in and everything. They're done here. But I'm just going to pause this here for a second so that I can just do a little commentary, talk about what they were kind of doing wrong, how they could improve, and what not to do if you're going to be playing. They weren't working good together. As you saw from our health and how we were playing, where we would spawn, try to heal each other, try to help each other out here. We weren't playing as good as we could have with that. Like, sure, we were making a couple mistakes, but, you know, we're trying to cover each other with anti-air against air, having him spawn and helping up top there at the start and everything when I was having trouble. Like, we did work good together, you know, for just random people. But one of their mistakes is he's saving up 8 mana at the start, and through the whole game he was saving up 8 mana, playing his big giant guy with the hammer there and trying to just use that to push. And then I don't know if he had a healer or didn't have a healer at the time, but he wouldn't play a healer behind there, and he normally have to save up 10 and then play that one because you still got to wait for that 2 extra mana at the start, which is going really slow, your mana regen, to try to get that healer to heal it. He wouldn't get the combos out. He wouldn't just throw some little minions or medium minions out and then, you know, throw the healer out to heal some of his allies, big guys. Because if your ally throws out a big guy that costs 8 and you have the healer ready, throw that out, because that's just as good as your combo that you're going to be doing most likely. Because otherwise you have to save 12 points where he takes just over half of the cost of your combo, and you throw that healer out to get the same effect that you're going to get either way, and you support them rather than his big minion dying and you throwing yours, or you throwing yours out, your big minion dying, I should say, and then being like, oh well, I have a healer here now, but I don't have that combo type thing. So they didn't work good together. He was just waiting and throwing out high cost cards. Like I said, you look at the health difference there. Can I actually, like... Oh, I can only slow it down. Okay, well, I was trying to go reverse. I was trying to rewind. For some reason, I thought that was rewind rather than speed. So yeah, that's just something that they were doing wrong. Why they lost by a margin. Did we even take damage? I didn't check our health there. And why they kept going down. Why we were constantly at their side. Like sure they pushed our side every now and then, but then we'd get our momentum. Sometimes you gotta take a step back to take 2 steps forward. We keep the bridge. You know, this as long as we keep the bridge, we get the mana frenzy before they do, and then we could just flood it. And if he's still saving up for the 8 points by the time we're got mana frenzy, oh boy, they're in trouble. So yeah, that's just something that they were doing wrong, and something, you know, to keep in mind when you play team versus team. It's a team match. You gotta work good with your teammate, work off your teammate, work with your teammate, and work for your teammate, and they will do the same for you, hopefully. And then you got a good team, and that's, like I said, that's something I've been blessed with, is good teammates. Don't play for yourself, don't be selfish. It's a team match. If you want to play for yourself, go play solo. Alright, on to game 34. So we just watched this one with Matt and Gigi. So let's hop into this one here. Whew, game 34. Like I said, I didn't realize I played so much there last night. Well, it was on and off. As you can see, there's an hour difference in time between some of the matches and stuff. You know, taking a break, going doing other stuff, coming back, playing a couple, 3 matches, taking away. So I was trying to save up enough in time for my healer and groggy. That AoE swing from this one is deadly. Like I said, some of them will swing in the cone or in the fan right in front of them. That's what this one does. Again, takes out 3 of my guys. That was a bad move on my part, but I wanted to stop our tower from taking too much damage at the start. We get a rammer right up, but he got stunned instantly, so no damage. And I'm like, okay, well now they got a wave as well coming in. You know, I could throw my blue balls down, but I didn't realize they were all just going to get wiped right out. But at least these count as ground troops, so they will actually take the bridge. Got this whole action going on down below. Didn't really work out, didn't pan out. We're still trying to find our groove. My timing's a bit off as well. I'm realizing what my ally has, so I'm like, okay, next time he gets this out, if I have a healer, I'll put a healer out for that. This came out a bit too early, so half his shield was gone by then. He's taken all of these hits. At least he took out the rocket guys, which, you know, hit 6 times. I'm like, okay, well, I need to defend. This is going to hurt me as well. You will take some of that damage back at you, which sucks for that. You know, if you do like a counter build or something, that's a good thing. They're keeping the pressure up. They've controlled the bridges for almost as much time as we have. We're slightly a bit ahead, but, you know, they have both bridges. And they're still keeping it. One's neutral now, so I just need to take it, right? So I just threw that down. I'm like, I might not get the healer out in time. Maybe I will throw the healer out. This guy's going to do major damage. I'm hoping I could last a little bit longer, but unfortunately I can't. Just trying to keep the bridge, trying to get us to mana frenzy before they do, because we need all the help we can get. We're struggling, and my timing, like I said, and I'm rushing at the same time to keep the bridges, because I know that's what it's going to come down to for this match with what they have and how good they're playing and everything. With them rushing, we can't let them get mana frenzy. If they get mana frenzy with all these groups of minions that they have and they start swarming us with minions, we're not gonna fare well. We're probably gonna lose. So the healer, I threw the healer out. The healer is healing straight across here. Now it's doing damage. Nothing's in range for it to heal. They lightninged it. I was hoping it would continue walking and heal that rather than attack, and it didn't do that. But, you know, we got the whole bottom. All these ones cleared. We have a big guy coming in. Of course, they have that tank and everything coming in as well. He spawned all of his little scrats at the bottom there. I spawned these here, hoping, you know, I can get a couple groups gone here, detonate, destroy. Again, they shock everything, stunning again. They have quite a bit of stuns. I'm just throwing this out so that I could get little groups here, get my freebie. trying to figure out what I need to do. Should I save up for a certain one? I'm thinking about it. They launch right over to the side here. They're taking, I'm struggling up top here. This is my lane. I'm supposed to be covering it. It's always, it's majority of my job, you know. Your ally always tries to cover too. They spawn the big guy here. And for some reason, you know, this counts as a building, this guy, for some reason. So the rammer actually does really, really good against them, like really good. You saw how fast his health was going down. So keep that in mind. If you have a rammer and they have a golem, that's a lot of the reason why a lot of the end game people use rammers is if people summon the blue golem, they summon the rammer. And if they have a clear shot to the champion thing, they'll summon the rammer too. So if people wonder why, that's why. I was wondering that a couple days back there, why people are still using rammers. Half the time it works, half the time it doesn't, so I don't use rammers. We got the healers in there, everything's shielded. My healer was shielded through the majority of that. They freeze everything, they're trying to stall, they're going down faster and faster, and it's done. We had a rammer coming in, we had the other minions coming in at top there. You know, we struggled, we weren't fully in sync, and as the time was off, and like I said, I was trying to rush to keep the bridges at the same time so that we could get Mana Frenzy before them, because I knew if they got Mana Frenzy first, they would swarm us, and we just wouldn't be able to, you know, really defend against that. And it may have been way too late by the time we got Mana Frenzy to counter, but yeah, that was game 34. Alright, on to game 35. Let's start that. Oh, I'll just move around on my seat here, get a bit more comfy.
It's on.
So right now I got my 7 combo if I need it. I like to wait for the whole 7. So that if they do place it, unless I get 7, I'm like, okay, well, it's time to go. I'm not going to wait longer. I'm not going to wait for them to get their 10 or 9 or 8. You know, I can get my groggy up. I can get this. He summoned his big boy here. He did that shield guy. Can't take damage for so many seconds. And now they got this here as well. But we got an air unit in. That's going to do quite a bit of damage. The healer keeping them up. They summon the big guy, realizing, okay, we're in trouble up here. They have a healer coming in, but I threw my guys down here for those that didn't see. They tried to do a big combo here with the big guy. As soon as the healer got here, I summoned mine around to take out that healer. You always want to take out the healer. So we're seeing he's got kind of the same process as I have. So we're going to have to take out the healer every time if we can. This is going to be a tough match. We already know it's going to be a tough match. It's an even match. As you can see, we're almost have the same amount of health. So I'm just trying to throw stuff that can do damage and clear a little bit, something low, so that I can save up for an actual combo. But yeah, they have healers, which is, you always got to target the heals. Whoever doesn't target the healer first or isn't able to take out the healer is going to lose first in this instant. So my healer's keeping him up, luckily, and stalling this guy. This guy's stalled. I'm trying to like figure, okay, if I summon this, he'll attack it, but he summoned his little crossbow to attack it first. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, that was kind of a bit of a waste of my time, but if I can summon healer here to keep this up, but you know, this is moving up. They're bombarding it as well, and they just lasered it, and they bombarded my healer as well, so that went down. This is going to be a tough, long match with 2 teams. It's whoever can hold the bridges, whoever gets that Mana Frenzy first is probably going to be the victor. We're on our 3rd perk. We're almost halfway. They're just starting the 3rd perk, so we're a little bit ahead, but you still can't lower your guard. You still have to keep that push up. They have a spawner back here, which is bad. They just nuked the one that went up there. I threw my daggers back there just to try to do as much damage and kill a couple of the groups. They have a lot of bigger minions coming in with smaller ones, little waves. It's pretty tough up top for me. I'm struggling. You know, I threw this down. I threw my healer down to cover his. I'm like, I gotta support my ally. We had kind of a clear spot until they, you know, they summoned everything down there, so we no longer have that clear spot. So I'm like, okay, we need this, but they have range coming in. If I spawn this, he might be able to hit. He didn't. Unfortunately, it was just outside of the range. I spawned this up top here. They threw a meteor. This took the meteor here, but they're now at us. It's like, okay, we need to spawn something. I spawned the shield guy who can take the hits for the first few seconds, as well as this. They got a healer there. I know they have a healer there. I'm like, okay, I gotta spawn something to kill the healer here. So I spawned the Groggy. The Groggy's going to now hit the healer. They have another healer healing that healer. So they had two healers in here. They got a big guy coming in. It's bad. Like, look at their health to us. Like, we're going down. But you never give up. Never lose hope. You keep fighting. I've had teammates. I've seen teammates on the other team before when I first started out. And even teammates on the other team while we played. I've had teammates. Not teammates. They had teammates that quit, rage quit, because they're just they're slowly going down or something stupid that happens, you know. Oh, they're running a minion scrat deck, whatever. They leave. It's like, I'm not playing against little rush minions, it's so cheesy, whatever. And they, you know, they quit. It's like, it's so easy to counter. Don't you have any counters? Don't you have any spells? The daggers, the lightning, anything. The big gun guy. Like, there's so many counters to that. And they will rage, saying how cheesy whatever is, you know, bad cheesy, you know, or how dumb it is. It's, oh, and then they'll say, oh, it's a troll. They're trolling with strats, all this stuff. And it's like, dude, it's so easy to counter. You see how many times I've won against scrats, or how many times one of my allies had scrats that, you know, they just wipe out really easy. And just never quit, never give up. We're down a lot. Like, look at ours, and we're slowly going up. They're bringing out stuff that can help us up. Well, actually, it's her passive heals us 250. So her passive is going to keep healing us 250. So we're still fighting, you know. I'm trying to keep this guy up. I throw my healer to help my ally up. He's constantly rooted. He's constantly rooted. he's just getting rooted by this guy here. So finally, you know, we got something pushing up here. Finally, he's taken out. The root should come off here shortly. Here it is. And he can hit. We're struggling. We're struggling. We bring out the shield. I bring out the shield guy to try to get some of the damage, tank some of the damage, while letting all the minions and everything hit. We're getting some big guys out here now too. My healer, of course, moved way too far, got taken out down below. There's a lot going on. When you get into these games, you have so much stuff that, you know, you gotta think about. You can't just tunnel vision on one side of the board. You have to keep on both sides, right? We need this. We need to keep this. I throw this down, I throw this down, I have the healer up here, I have the range up here. Are they throwing any range up top? Here comes our range. Okay, our range can cover a bit and hit some of the ground. We now got Mana Frenzy. I'm going to keep that wave up. So I throw stuff down with the healers, and if I get healers, I'll throw them in between to keep everything healing and everything up. They're going to start getting swarmed here. You look how far we were down to like 800 health. We're now up because of that healing here. You never give up. We keep healing 250 from her. And we're now got Mana Frenzy. We kept the bridges. That was the main point, keeping the bridges. They're going to get Mana Frenzy here any second. Or they might have just got it. Did they just get it? They might have just got it, yeah. Alright. So, here we are at the end game. They're not going to be able to fight off our waves, especially if I throw healers in between. We got range, we got the front line, and then we got the healer, and then we got another wave of another front line coming in to support. And if they pass all that, it reinforces the front line, and we get more waves of the archers meeting up and joining up with that wave, and then we have the healers all coming. It's game at that point. You never give up. You never lose hope. You always push forward. And it's come down to times where, you know, I was down to like 10, 15 health, and it's whoever can damage the enemy towers quicker wins, and it comes out of that, and it's like, oh yeah, that feels so good. Yes, amazing. Down to 115, down to 100 health, whatever. And it's like, yes, that is phenomenal. Alright, so that was match 35. I need to go grab a drink of coffee because I'm getting so hyped. I'm talking a lot. I need to just grab a quick drink and I'll be right back for game 36. Alright, game 36. Let's continue on. Dang, this is going to be a big, long video. I didn't realize I played this much yesterday, playing couple matches, going doing other stuff, hopping on when I have a chance. So this is actually reversed. Let me just switch this. I don't know why it does that. I don't know, but as long as I get the recording, it's fine. Alright, so I'm on the bottom. I spawn these. He spawns this. I was trying to counter any air units. The enemy spawned this big tank here, which is actually really good. Like, it seems like it's a really good tank. Like a really good, like, it tanks, it does quite a bit of damage, it stalls out the lane, there's a lot of stuff. My healer was moving too far ahead, so I, you threw another healer there to try to keep everything up. The healer that I had back there was keeping this up. We're now at their tower doing first hit, first damage. Spawning all our people up top there to keep the bridges and keep the momentum and try to get to them as soon as we can. I don't know what's going on here, but this is early on in the match. They have these spawned. I do have this. I'm going to throw my daggers back there, clear out so they can't clear some of our minions. And we already won the match. I don't know what was going on, if one of their players was AFK or what, but that match was quick, especially for where we are in the rank. I don't know if they were trying to spawn higher up, but it seemed like we're just facing one person. Maybe the other person just gave up right away, didn't show up, or maybe started the match, ran to thinking, oh, I have time to go to the washroom. Who knows? You can only assume. But it cost him the match, his teammate, or if he did, if there was both there and that's just how they were playing and they just didn't have the decks synced, who knows. That was just bad. That was quick. So that was game 36 there. And I just want to say, if that was me and my teammate was AFK, and that's happened before, we're at the start of the match for the first 30 seconds, minute of the game, it was just me versus two, but I held off long enough, and my teammate had like max mana, so he wasn't doing anything. So I'm like, oh, maybe he's AFK, maybe he's gonna load in, I don't know. He comes back and we end up winning the match. So that's happened with me. That was with that Scrat deck, I believe, that I ran for the 23 win streak, where you're trying to hold off until they either come back or whatever, or maybe they figured, oh, we're gonna lose, he's running a Scrat deck, they just sit back, just eat, do whatever, and they're like, oh geez, he held on for a minute. Oh, he's holding on for a minute and a half. Okay, maybe I'll play. Who knows? I like to think that was the thing where he's like, oh, he's running Scrat deck, I'm not even going to play with him. And then it's like a minute and a half later, in my mind just playing out, and he's like, oh man, he's held on, let's go in. I'm coming, we got this. At least that's in my mind how it played out. So that's how I'm going to tell the story from now on, I think. Alright, let's get on to match 37. Alright, let's get on to match 37. And so, remember what I was saying about maybe one of their teammates is AFK or whatever? Look who I have on my team. I have one of them on the team. I'm hoping it's not the one, if they were AFK, I'm hoping it's not the one that I have. But I'm now with one of them. So let's see how this goes. I can't remember how this went. Hopefully I have the better of the two of them. So it's going to throw this. I'm just going to switch. Of course, for some reason, like I said, it's switching me and putting me on the other side there. So I'm just going to switch us. So I'm on the top lane there. My ally right away spawns this. One comes up, one comes down to take both bridges. I'm thinking, okay, this isn't the AFK one. This isn't the one I need to be worried about. He's at least playing. He's throwing stuff down. I throw, of course, my woodsman down. He's got poisoned a bit, and I have the healer healing. The healer got body blocked, which keeps the healer back, which is awesome. They're spawning waves down below. I'm realizing, oh, we need some anti-air. Throw the spear guys out to also take this. Healer is keeping the groggy swordsman alive until pretty much now. Oh, maybe. Oh, keeping him alive. Oh, it went down a bit later. Healer now keeping him alive a bit. But they're focusing. We got this big tank guy. So this is the guy from the last match that played. The tank guy. He's the one that wasn't AFK. If one was, I don't know. But he's the one that was actually doing the best out of the two, so I know I got the good one out of that team. Come rushing in, I got my anti-air. He's got the tank tanking it for me. They now spawn this big guy here. This guy is really good. I like him. I like to support him if it's on my team. If my teammate has it, I like to throw my healers and support them. And then he has that fear. Everything's just gonna get feared away. He's got nuked and he got hit by the swords guy. They're putting up a good fight as long as we can hold the bridges, get that mana frenzy first. They are behind quite a bit. We're already 1/3 done our third perk. They're only on half. We're holding the top bridge. They're on the bottom here. They held so long. We finally got rid of the big guy there. And now we're doing our second push. So we got some air minions coming in. They froze here to stall us, so I threw some more out here just to get a couple seconds ahead, or a second ahead more. Every second counts when you're holding a bridge. Every second counts. So if you can throw stuff like that. They throw this big guy here. I throw the healer trying to keep it up. Doesn't really work. We have the archer and stuff. I'm like, okay, hopefully I can get something ahead of my healer so they don't target the healer here. But unfortunately, that's not how it plays out. I threw it back here instead. Figured that the healer was going to go down. I didn't want to be too impatient. Sometimes you're impatient, you rush something out, and then your healer goes down. That thing now is way at the front line. So I summoned the healer, but my one thing just got demolished. So I'm like, well, that was kind of a waste of a slot with the healer. Hopefully I can, get one of my other things here, throw it in front. So I throw this guy here. He's taken all those hits, which does nothing, so it protects my healer and everything else. We throw the daggers down to finish as well. He had such low health. I'm like, oh, this dagger. That was game 37. Wow. 37 win streak so far. I am impressed with this deck. I'm glad I'm getting great teammates. I'm enjoying myself. Let's continue on to game 38. Alright, last one for now, game 38, and then I'll be stopping here. I just want to say, watching these replays and having a 38 win streak, now that I know what it's at, I didn't know what it's at, I lost count there, but 38 win streak with this deck, just watching how good I'm doing with this game, how good everything's going, just it gets you hyped up. When you know you're one of the top tier at a game and you just start playing, before I left, I only played for 3 weeks. I left. I didn't touch the game after it came out. I just got back into it, doing 23 with that Scrat deck up to this point, and then switching decks and not watching. I haven't watched any videos on this game. Everything that I'm coming up with, I'm figuring out by myself, or I'm watching other players that I play against. You should, don't do what I'm doing. You can go watch other people play, but I like to figure things out myself. I like to figure out the combos myself, and then figuring out watching my combos and then seeing other people do the combos that I'm doing. I know there's only 200-300 whatever minions. I don't know how many minions there are. But seeing other people use the same combo and them come into the same conclusion either by themselves or with you of how the combos this groggy woodsman and the healer, or with different combos with the getting shields or getting the extra minions or doing different things where things just combo off each other, and different ways to play or how to hold different positions. There's so much with it. It makes you feel so good, like realizing this and coming to the conclusions yourself, and then also seeing other people doing that and just being like, yeah, you're doing the same thing. Awesome, man. That's great. It just puts me in such a good mood. Like, I'm hyped up for my day now. After this match, you know, I gotta go eat and I gotta go do other stuff. I won't be able to play until later tonight, but the whole day I'm gonna be hyped. I don't think there's anything that's gonna bring me down from this hype that I feel right now. You know, just doing this well, it just makes you feel so good, you know. And this random people watching my video, thank you to everyone watching my videos. And I just want to say, like, I have been getting some requests here as well from people that I don't know, and I try to find out what rank they are, where they are, because they want to play. And if they're at the start tier, it kind of sucks if they're at like the bronze or whatever, and I'm way up, because it's either gonna pull them way up to me, and then it's not going to go good at all. They're just going to lose, and then I'm going to feel bad because they don't have the cards, you know, to compete up at the top. They don't have the combos to compete at the top and stuff. So I can't really play with people down there. And like, I do have a solo deck that I can play down there. Like, the only other thing I could do really is, you know, make a Smurf account and start over and at bronze with them, you know, to try to play with them. But yeah, like, it's trying to drag people up to the top tier or something, or is this, or try to, it's like the matchmaking. I remember back in the day, the matchmaking, if I remember correctly, it did actually try to match you with the same ranks or same levels as people as well. So that might be the case too. But last time I remember playing with like friends that had played, it would pull them up and they would be facing such a hardship, and they're like, yeah, I can't play. I don't have the cards, and like they just wipe out. Like, all I got are these minion rushes. I just don't do good. But this game is actually pretty good with matching, if I remember correctly. Alright, game 38. This is the last one for now. And then I'll go take that break. I need to grab food. I need to do stuff here, IRL, do some work. And I'll, yeah, I should be able to hop on later tonight. So here comes the combo again. I was watching, they got the sniper here, so I'm like, hopefully I can get this ahead, get this guy to tank the sniper blast here. The snipers hit pretty hard, as you can see, but so does this again. Snipers are really glass cannons, and I believe it says they're glass cannons. But now we're pretty much almost all the way over to them. The Groggy's getting kept up, but he's taking so much hits. Now the healer's getting healed by this healer tanking. We have this little ghost going down. We've got this big guy who can AoE, so he's going to be nuking. The healer's switching to attack mode at the moment. Pushed way too far ahead. They're AoEing now, trying to get everything at once. This guy moves in, and I think they had him right at the edge there. But we're keeping up the pressure. We're hitting their tower. We have both of the bridges. That's the main part, keeping the bridges. We're way ahead. We're almost done our second. They're just getting started on their second. Let my minion, my champion, deal that. Try to retake the top bridge there if I can. I throw this down. I see he has that. I don't have any healers to support me or him. You know, I would like to do that. They have that big guy coming in up top there. My guy's gonna run back, neutralize, so both of these are neutral at the moment because we both have minions with their feet in it. I throw the range one down to try to help out here, try to get this down. I'm not getting my healers at the moment. I got both of them at the start and they were both out here. They both wiped, so I gotta try to just support as much. So I see I got the healer now. By the time I throw this out, and get the healer out. This might be too far, but I see that it's stalled. But then he's there and he just gets taken out. So it's like, okay, well, let's do the groggy, let's do the healer. It's a 7-point. The other guy was way too far ahead. Gotta try to get to this guy. He's ranged there. He's hitting. They spawn these here to take out the healer. They really need that healer out. They take it out. So now my groggy's not getting the heals. He's still pretty tanky though. Got the healer out. Might be a bit too late. Kind of keep up the minions, or are they going to die too quickly? They're going to die pretty quickly. I got this down. Throw the daggers to take out that to try to slow down their whole back line from pushing up. So the shield guy's out to try to take some hits. He throws this big guy out. Again, I don't have the healers out. I kind of use them to try to stall out a little bit. Throw some stuff to stop us from taking damage and get this out. They're going to use their spell to try to lane clear here. My ally throws out some air units. I'm going to throw this out. He's going to take the hits, stop them from pushing. And he's not going to take any damage because he's got that shield for the 2 seconds, whatever it is here. So they're moving forward here. Boom. We're at the big guy here. We're pushing in. My archers are slowly picking at them. They're going to suck us all in here with this spell. Deal a lot of damage. This spell is actually really good if you need to group people for like an AoE or something, or another spell. If you have that spell and another spell, that like that meteor or whatever, and you got enough points for it, or you got something that can actually do damage, like the daggers or whatever, suck them all in, is hit them with that second spell, resets that whole area, right? Like we had all those minions that just got killed. They're now pushing to us, they're now hitting us. I throw my thing down to take those initial hits to buy us time. Yeah, my allies got that out, we got that out. We've stalled here. We need some anti-air. He throws these little air units in there, but they're attacking the ground, not the air. Should have been placed here, in my opinion. I don't have any anti-air at the moment. I had the spear throwers, but that's all I had, you know. I throw a healer out to try to stall here. I need to stall here. They nuke it with the spell. They know to go for the healers. They're smart. They're going to AoE as well. Struggling at the top there. Here comes another wolf. I would, you know, throw my healer and stuff to try to keep this down and stall here and help them out. You know, kind of sacrificing my lane a tad bit, but as long as we can break through one side, we need a breakthrough at the side at this point. We need to keep the bridges. We need to stop them from taking the bridges. We're already almost done Mana Frenzy. That's what I'm trying to go for at the moment. I'm trying to stall at the bridges, try to break through at one of the bridges if we can, but keep both bridges if we can. They're throwing everything down below. They're struggling. Like this guy is still up here. You see him still up. He is, and so that one just got healed. He's still up. We're still stalling up here. If we can get Mana Frenzy, we've got this. And we just got Mana Frenzy. It's like, okay, so now let's get going. Throw some anti-air up here, because we're struggling with that anti-air. Throw that up here. I throw a little bit up here. Start throwing those up here. Groggy. Figure, okay, I'll try. We're breaking through at the bottom. As long as we can push up to them there, we got this. I'm throwing the healer out to just heal the groggy and push up. So they're throwing a lot of stuff down below here now, so we can break up through the top here. We're breaking up through the top because they're focusing down here, trying to take out this guy. Man, like, look at that. Got the healer as well. The healer's healing. Got the healer coming in, but he's way so far. Throw another groggy there. Get it. And we take match 38 win streak. But yeah, that was a pretty tough one. But that's how these games are going now. Up at this later tier, you know, it's not going to be this quick match unless someone's AFK. Which, if that does, you know, that sucks. Especially if people are on win streaks, like 40 win streaks plus or whatever, and they get an AFK. But that's going to be all for now. That was a lot more matches than I thought I played throughout yesterday. So, yeah, that was amazing. Let me just update this here really quick as well before I forget. Win streak 38. Damn, like that. I don't know how all your matches are going, guys and gals, but I'm really enjoying this game at the moment. I don't know why people are asking what are mana cheats. Maybe it's just asking mana cheats are used by very poor players. What I don't know what this is called. Someone reached diamond. That's great. If people reach diamond, amazing, good job. But yeah, so as you can see right now, I'm starting on solo rank. I'm going to be doing some solo rank. I want to get my solo rank up. I haven't been playing solo rank. I just got here from bronze. I'm getting, because I have a win streak going with solo as well now. So I'm getting more XP. It seems like the more you win, the more XP you get for each next game. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what it feels like. Battle Pass is almost at 31. 4 days left. I ain't going to get that 50. I might still buy it. Maybe I'll see. Or I might just wait the 4 days and start getting the next Battle Pass. I haven't spent any money on this game yet. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't spend my money on anything except my niece and nephew. That's I just spend it on them, getting them whatever outside stuff. I was actually thinking about getting them a basketball hoop there, but that's nothing to do with this game. So I know you all came for the game, so I won't bore you with that. But thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see what I can do tonight to continue on with win streaks or get some gameplay footage of solo. Maybe I'll start a solo video here, and I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching.